Hello and welcome to the gojenn Videocast. I am gojenn, your hostess, and today is Sunday, June 26, 2016. This has been a very unusual week for me, so this is going to kind of be an unusual kind of videocast, not my usual. This starting off with my Tunisian crochet project. This is the Snapdragon. The pattern is by Ava Nee. The yarn is Malabrigo sock yarn, and I don't know the colorway. And this is it at 50% because I have finished up one full ball of yarn, and I've got to get started now on the second ball of yarn. So that's at 50%. Here's my other project that has to be to 50% 50% by the end of June. This is the Jillian Shawl, patterned by Martina Behm, Behm, and this yarn is by Marigold Gin. I am not sure the colorway. It's Marigold Gin sock yarn, and this has to be to 50% for the Harry Potter Knitting and Crochet House Cup on Ravelry, in which I participate. This is a three-month project, and so I had to get it to 30% by the end of June. And just if you'll note there at the bottom, you'll see how much better my edging looks. The holes are nice and even. It looks so much better than when I began, so I'm really proud of how much I've improved. And yes, I weighed what I have done so far, and even with the knitting needles, it weighed 83 grams. So that is my Jillian, and it is to 50% as well. So here it is, all nice and stretched out. It's beautiful. I love it. And so they're both to 50%, which was my goal for this week. Here is my journal, and in the front this is where I keep my monthly trackers. The one on the left is my habit tracker, and the one on the right is where I keep up with what I'm crafting. And starting next week, I won't be, starting in July, I'm not going to be keeping separate pages in the front of the journal. I'm just going to include this with the 50%. Excuse me, sorry, I've got that on the brain. I'm going to include this with the weekly spread. And in July, I've decided I am going to keep the weekly spread in my journal. I'm going to keep my bullet journal in my journal book. So I'm going to go with one book July. I'm going to use a 60-page Moleskine notebook. I may have to cut back a little bit on what I journal, but that shouldn't be a problem if I've got to get both of my shawls finished by the end of this month. So that's my next job to do. Okay, so here in my journal, this is the beginning. This is June. Okay, this is last Sunday. And I was real proud of this page where I used the bumblebee stickers. And you see the little yellow bumblebee that is obviously the one that I drew. Look, that's where I put the date. I thought I was really getting crafty with that one. And this is more in my journal. And I got creative up there with the Wednesday header. That typewriter is a sticker, and so I just wrote the date on the paper that was in the sticker thing, typewriter. And I worked on I'm practicing banners to make them look more natural. And Wednesday's hump day, so see, how neat is that? So there was Thursday and Friday. And Friday is the day that we got our RV, recreational vehicle. We got a motorhome, Class C. So I put that down there in the bottom like fireworks for now, and then I'll print a picture and put it there. So that's the plan. Okay, so this was Saturday when I finally got around to doing some journaling. Friday was so hectic with everything that we were doing. It just was, it's a crazy day. I had already pre-decorated my pages, so the only planner supply that I took were my pens, but then I just kept using the pink one that I started with, so I really only used one pen. This is my bullet journal list, and I haven't updated it since last Saturday because all I did this week was get things ready to go camping and try to get my trillion to 50%. This is the weekly spread, and this is what I'm going to be using going forward, and I'm just going to incorporate it right into my journal. So I'm going to see how that goes. So there will only be one insert with my planner for the month of July. So that's going to be a big change for me. And I put a sticky note there to remind myself that that's Monday, not Sundays, because last week I messed it up and had to white out the whole thing, and it was a mess. And I figure I will just start another weekly spread with Friday, which will be July 1st. And here we go. This starts our camping and RV portion. So if you're not interested, that's fine. This has nothing to do with planning or with crochet. This is just what we did. This is the motorhome that we got, and her name is Lucy. And there, I had to drive the other car back home, and while he drove the motorhome. So there he is going out onto the road. He did really good. Got it right in the driveway, no problems. So Friday I worked half a day. We went out there and got the motorhome, brought it back home, and loaded up everything, and then hit the road for our first trip. That red pin there in the center is us, and so we went to the KOA due south, and that is in Greensboro, North Carolina. So it's the closest, I think, to us. It was just a short trip. It took us about 45 minutes to an hour to get there. And so we are on the road. That's Lucky with his tongue hanging out, and Bella's looking out the window. And here we are at our very first campsite in the Greensboro KOA. We were thrilled. It was hot. It was extremely hot. It's a very nice campground, very well maintained, and the people were very helpful. We were very pleased with the campground itself. However, the only negative that we really had is that it is very close. If you see that truck and the traffic going by there, that's a very major interstate, I-40, that goes through Greensboro. So that was right there. So anytime we were outside, we could hear the road noise. I mean, your brain tunes it out because it's just there. And when we were inside the camper, if we had on the fans or the air conditioning, we didn't hear the road noise at all. So it didn't bother us, didn't keep us from sleeping, any of that. I will say that during the night, one night I heard like tires squealing, and I was just waiting for the crash to come, but it never did. So that woke me up. It was like 3 a.m, but and so here the motorhome has an awnings, and that comes out and makes a little porch for us. And it has 2 slide outs, one that slides out the bed in the back, and one that slides out the sofa on the other side. And we just got a piece of carpet there from Sam's Club, and that's our little outdoor patio area. We had a few minor problems getting set up, but nothing major. We were just thrilled, and as soon as we stopped rolling, the dogs had to explore and say, what is going on here? it upset Bella more than Lucky because she was just overloaded with all the new sounds and smells and things to see. So she had a little trouble getting used to it. That's our first sunset from our campsite, and the sun had already set on us, but that cloud was up so high that it was still shining on it, and it was just very beautiful. The campground was very quiet, very peaceful, right next to an interstate. And that's the bed that's up over the driving area. So like the main driver's captain's chair is right under there. And the navigator's is on the right. Ha, that's me. And we really had fun trying out the different areas in the motorhome. We've got the little dinette on the right, lots of windows, skylights. You do not, during the day, it's not dark at all. It would be if you closed all the curtains, which are mostly all pull downs, but it's just very light. I like that. That is something that is important to me, to be in a space that has natural light and it's not all dark like a dungeon. And that's Bella up on the top bed there. It came with 2 TVs, but anyway, she's kind of like a cat. She wants to be up high so she can see everything that's going on. And that's me and the dogs on the sofa, and that is on the slide out, so it gives you extra room there. 2 things about this picture here in our little patio area. See my journal? Yay, that's me journaling. And I have on a mosquito repellent bracelet. I've got it on my ankle. I want to highly recommend these things. This is what I got. I got it from Amazon, and it was fabulous. I'm the person that will, if no one else gets a mosquito bite, I've got 10. And they're the big, red, welty. They always get, really puffy, and they swell up, and I itch them, scratch them, and it's just a mess. But this thing, I'm sitting here on Sunday night, and not a single mosquito bite. None. So this was fabulous. I will definitely use these things, and I want to recommend them too. Hope they don't have some kind of poison I don't know about to kill the mosquitoes, but I have no bites at all. That's amazing. Because I sat out at dusk, and that's when they're the worst. So they seem to be enjoying themselves. And this is this morning when we were kind of packing up, going around trying to make sure that things weren't going to fall and rattle. That is the underneath the piping sections for the different water types: freshwater, gray water, and black water. Let me tell you, that's probably a whole video in itself. So here we are. This morning. We were getting ready to go. Do you notice how the sofa is pulled up? That the slide-in has been moved up, and you just push a button for that. All you do, I'm serious, all you do is push a button, and it slides in and out. Amazing. And there we are on the road again. So we already have reservations for our next trip at the KOA in Natural Bridge, Virginia. And my daughter and my grandson are going to come and camp with us there. There's a zoo. There is, of course, Natural Bridge. And so we'll have several things to do. I have a long weekend off work, so we'll be staying until Monday, but I think my daughter's got to come back on Sunday. But anyway, we're really looking forward to it. We had a great time. We did have some problems. I'm not going to tell you that we had a perfect weekend with no strife or stress. We did. There was stress. Why can't I figure out what I'm supposed to do here? And then we would both stand and look at something and try to figure it out. And most everything is common sense, but we did not know that to get the pullouts to work, you have to turn, no, what is it? The driver's seat has to be all the way forward, and you have to have it in the park and brake up. We didn't know that. And so we were, and my husband's got the manual out and everything, but at any rate, we had little blips like that. It was way hot this weekend, so we did not have a campfire, and we don't have a grill yet, but that's going to be something that we get before we go to Natural Bridge. So at any rate, I kind of hope you enjoyed this. I thought about all of y'all while we were camping. It's like, okay, I got to remember to tell them about this and tell them how good my mosquito bracelet is, because I'm not getting any bites. And I'm glad y'all are there. I appreciate you being with me so much. And until I see you next week we'll be at home. The week after, we're going to Natural Bridge. So we'll be at home next weekend, and I will see you again on Sunday. And until then, I wish you a week filled with lots of love and laughter.